Paul, I got a question for you. I'm going to quiz you to start the program. What do we buy that we spend maybe 15% of our income on, and we hope we never get to use it?
Oh, wow. The first thing is insurance.
Insurance, good one. Kudos to you for pulling that up. That's right. We spend 10 to 15% of our budget on different types of insurance. And every kind of insurance is something we don't want to use. Imagine how we spend money on things for something we hope we don't use. And that's what insurance is. But, insurance does cost us a lot of money. And it's one of the largest items in our budget. Costs for insurance continue to spiral up, especially when we talk about health insurance. We'll talk about that in a minute. But in the United States, most families spend between 10, 15, 20% of their annual income on insurance. And we're going to talk about how to save money on this. Now, I don't talk about insurance a lot. It's not a sexy subject, but it's something we all have to deal with. And I'll try to sex it up a little bit, the insurance story here. But we live in a litigious society where we could be, sued for anything. So some of the insurance we have is to prevent that. Health care, of course, is the big one. We're going to talk about that. Long-term care when we're older. Auto insurance, homeowners insurance. There's so many different kinds of insurances out there. And many people don't understand insurance and either have the wrong insurance, the more expensive insurance. They don't shop for insurance. And we're going to tell you how to save a lot of money on insurance. Now, the purpose of insurance, and I think a lot of people don't understand the purpose of insurance. The purpose of insurance is to protect you from catastrophic loss, from losing everything you worked hard for your entire life, which you could. Say your home burns down, you don't have fire insurance. It could wipe you out. Same is true of health insurance or auto insurance. So we buy these insurances so we don't have to pay gigantic bills that we may not even be able to afford. So when we buy insurance, we transfer the risk of catastrophic losses to an insurance company, who then assumes those risks for us. And we pay insurance companies premiums to protect us from those risks. Now, again, we hope we never need insurance, but we can't do without it. We have to have it. We need to insure our cars. We need to insure our house. We need to insure our lives. We need to insure our income. In some cases, we need special insurance, like flood insurance, if we live by the shore. Earthquake insurance, if we live in an earthquake-prone part of the country. If you have a business, you're a doctor or a lawyer, malpractice insurance, errors and omission insurance, and much, much more. There's all kinds of insurance. And people don't seem to shop around for insurance, though. When we have an insurance company, say you have your car insurance company, it's with Allstate, and every year it comes up for renewal, most of us just allow it to renew. We don't spend 15 minutes comparing prices with Geico. We just say, all right, I have Allstate, so they're going to renew it. Yeah, it's a little higher. I'll just, go with it. But really, if you shop around, you can save a lot of money. And those Geico commercials are not wrong. You spend 15 minutes shopping for insurance, you're going to find all kinds of different amount of premiums. But you got to realize that insurance is not meant to pay every dollar of something that happens to you. If you wanted to, you can, but you're going to pay a lot of money in premiums for something that you're probably not going to use. Now, think about it. How many years do you pay homeowners insurance? I'd use that as an example. Homeowners insurance has gotten really expensive. I think for my home, it's like $1,700 a year, right? I think I've used homeowners insurance once in all the years I've been a homeowner. There's a hailstorm that came through my neighborhood, and we needed a new roof and some new gutters and everything. And about I think it was $25,000 I was covered for with my insurance policy. But I can't remember any other time in the 30 years I was a homeowner. So think about all that money I spent for something I didn't need. I've had quite a bit of life insurance over the years. I'm still alive. That means I didn't get any return on my investment. I don't want to have a return on my investment right now, but, hey, think about all the premiums I've paid. Car insurance. Thankfully, I haven't had any car accidents since I was a teenager. So I really haven't used my car insurance. Spent thousands of dollars on that over the years. So it's kind of really an interesting product, insurance. Something we buy, costs us a lot of money in our budget, and we hope we never need it. So how do we save money on insurance? Well, we take some of the risk ourselves. What do I mean by that? Higher deductible amounts will lower your premium. The more risk you're willing to take, the lower the premium is going to be. So if you have a policy, say in your car, and you have a $1,000 deductible, the premium is going to be less than if you took a $250 deductible. And that's what you want to do. Yeah, nobody wants to pay $1,000 when you have a car problem. You have a fender bender or something. But it's not going to wipe you out. But it's going to reduce the amount of your premiums. And the chances of you needing that insurance, as I've been saying, is probably pretty low in every given year. Higher co-payments are going to reduce your health insurance premiums. And if you want to have lower co-payments and deductibles, it's probably not cost effective unless you're very ill and use it a lot. Let's talk about life insurance. Very, very important thing to have. You have to have it, especially if you're young and you have kids and everything. Look, if your kids are gone, it's just you and your wife, you have a lot of savings, your house is paid off, well, maybe you don't need insurance at all. Life insurance. The only reason you have life insurance is so your loved ones will get by if you were to die, if you're the sole source of income in the family. But if you're okay and, your house is paid off and you got savings and investments and, you know your spouse is going to be okay, maybe you don't need insurance. Let's talk about life insurance. There's two different types. There's term insurance, there's whole life insurance. What's the difference? Term insurance is pure insurance. For a specific amount of time, you have the same premium usually. It's called level term. I'm a big fan of level term insurance. I've only owned level term insurance my whole life. Why? Because you get more bang for your buck. You get more insurance coverage. And you got to be careful because insurance agents always try to push whole life insurance, which combines the death benefit with a savings component. And you insure your entire life, no matter what happens to you, your health or whatever, as long as you pay the premiums, you still have the insurance. Now, term insurance, it only goes for a certain amount of time. And at the end of that time, if you're not insurable because you have health issues, well, then you're not going to get insurance. But I've always bought 20-year term, 20-year level term. Because I figured, my kids are 5. In 20 years, they're going to be 25 and gone. And it's just me and my wife. And then I'll get another insurance policy when that one expires, which I did. Because I was insurable. But you got to be careful, especially younger people. You're going to have a friend who became an insurance agent. He's going to come to your house, and he's going to show you how great the whole life insurance policy is. It's $200 a month for $100,000 in life insurance. But that's not enough insurance. If something happened to you, what's $100,000 going to do for your family if you have kids? But for a fraction of that amount of money, you can get a real large life insurance policy, say $500,000, for maybe $500 a year. Now, the younger you are, the cheaper it is. That's the way life insurance works, obviously. Your chances of dying at 25 are a lot lower than your chance of dying at 60. Unless you took the experimental jab, and then your risk of a heart attack just went up. And by the way, life insurance statistics are showing excessive mortality. I mean, they're paying out lots of claims. I mean, it's just skyrocketing. And this is not a statistical thing that happens. Funeral directors, you ask them how busy they are, they'll tell you. How many times now do you hear, died unexpectedly? Died unexpectedly. 27 years old, died unexpectedly. Soccer players dropping dead on the soccer pitch. We'll talk about that later on in the program. Hopefully these people had life insurance. They're 27 years old with kids, right? So I was an insurance agent for a number of years early in my career. I let that expire. I'm not licensed anymore. It's just not my thing, insurance. I'm an investment guy, a financial planner. I send people to other people for insurance. I don't like it. I don't like dealing with selling insurance. But let me illustrate how important it is to have life insurance and an experience I had with a client. And I detail this in my book. By the way, in my book, The Financial Physician, How to Cure Your Money Problems, Boost Your Financial Health, got a whole chapter on insurances and how to save money. By the way, the book is free of charge. Just go to my website, thefinancialphysician.com. You can download it. You don't have to go buy it. It's available at Amazon. It's available in the Ocean County Library. I was in the Ocean County Library this week. It kind of gives me a kick to see my book in this bookshelf. As a matter of fact, I was there the other day, and it was already lent out. Somebody was reading it, so it's kind of neat. I'll never forget when I wrote the book in 2010, and I went to my local Barnes & Noble, and I saw the book in the bookcase for the first time in the finance section. It was quite a thrill. And then a week later, I did a book signing in the Howell Barnes & Noble. That was neat, really neat. And anybody who ever wrote a book will tell you the day that the case comes where your book comes in and you open it up and you see the book, it's very thrilling. It is. Maybe I have to write another book soon. It's not easy, though. Try to write a book. Interesting story. When I wanted to write the book, I got an agent. And I asked him, what's the chance of getting a publishing contract? He said about 2%. So we wrote up a preview of the book, and in 2 weeks I had a contract with Career Press. The only problem was it was April, and I was in the middle of income tax season, and they said, we want this to be the lead financial book in the fall when we release our new books. So could you have it done by July 1st? It was April. And I had it done by July 1st. As a matter of fact, I had 25 chapters, and they cut out 5 because they said it was too long. Maybe I should put out a new book with the 5 chapters in the first book. Anyway, I illustrate in the book an anecdote. Early in my career, I'll never forget it, there was a young couple, and they had 2 small children. And their name was John and Mary. And John was struggling to make ends meet, and he could not afford to buy life insurance. A friend of his tried to sell him a $300,000 whole life policy that was $200 a month, $2,400 a year. He couldn't afford it. So he passed on it. And I asked him, let me review the proposal. So a few days later, I presented John with a proposal for a 20-year level term policy with a $500,000 death benefit. The premium was $500 a year. He could afford that. So he had a larger death benefit at only 20% of the cost of whole life. So he bought the policy. 6 months later, his wife Mary called me and told me John died in an accident at work. And sad, very sad. And I'll never forget the feeling I had knowing that I was able to get John life insurance at low cost, and now Mary and her children would not be in financial danger. Now, I knew life insurance was important. I'm a certified financial planner. But that day, I learned how crucial having proper insurance is. So insurance is a necessary thing, and we have to have it. But you got to realize that the more insurance that you take on yourself, the more risk you take on yourself with higher deductibles, higher co-payments, and things like that, the less it's going to cost you. Now, when people are choosing this, specifically life insurance, how much do I need? You got to ask, some questions of yourself. How important is your income to your family? Can they live comfortably without your income? Or without life insurance proceeds? Does your spouse have a high-paying job that if you were to pass, they still have income? Do you have mortgages? Do you have debt? Do you have young children? Do you want to pay for their college with your life insurance? Do you want to pay off your mortgage? A lot of people that get life insurance, they want to get enough to pay off their mortgage, so if they die, their spouse and their kids have a free house. But there's more to it than that. You got to replace income. You got to, college funding. A young couple with 2 kids should have at least $500,000 in life insurance. And that may be too low, especially in the inflationary environment we're living in. So other things you could do to lower costs. Take car insurance. Well, maybe you could call your carrier that gives you homeowners insurance. There's discounts if you bundle different policies together. How about maintaining a good driving record, obviously? You got 3 DUIs, your car insurance is going to be pretty high. Buy less expensive cars. Drop collision coverage on older cars. May not pay. At a certain point, older cars are not worth fixing. Take advantage of all the discounts that are available. Good driving record, driver training courses you take will lower your cost. Anti-theft devices. Ask what discounts are offered, from your insurance company. See if you qualify for them. Join an auto club like AAA. You may be eligible for discounts. But the best way to lower your insurance is to increase your deductible. Now, health insurance would be a whole different subject, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because, A, it's aggravating. That's the most expensive insurance you're going to have. It's amazing how insurance now has eclipsed mortgage payments for many people. I have a group plan at my office. We have a small group. I pay $2,000 a month for my wife and I. $2,000 a month with substantial deductibles, substantial co-pays. You pay $2,000 a month. You go into an emergency room, it costs you $1,000. I go, wait a second. What am I paying premiums for? A big type of insurance that people ask me about all the time is long-term care insurance, nursing home insurance. Should I get it? I don't know. You're going to go into a nursing home? And how long are you going to stay there? Nobody can answer that question. Just like nobody can answer the question, am I going to die? Untimely death when I'm young. We never know the answers to that question. Just like we don't know the answer, is my house going to burn down? If I knew my house wasn't going to burn down, I wouldn't get homeowners insurance this year. But we never know. And I'll do a separate segment one day on long-term care insurance, the pros and cons of doing it, and what it costs and whatnot. So in summary, insurance, whether it's life insurance, car insurance, health insurance, long-term care insurance, or any kind of insurance, is necessary. Because without it, you could lose everything, a good portion of your net worth. maybe put you deeply in debt. But you got to have the proper insurance. You have to have the proper deductibles to keep that cost down. You got to behave in a manner that lowers the risk. And it's really, really smart to have a really good insurance agent. And really good insurance agent. Now, there's a couple different kinds of insurance agents out there. You got to be sure you understand. There's a captive agent. A captive agent works for an insurance company. So every type of insurance product is going to come from that insurance company. So say you have an Allstate agent. Well, your homeowner is going to be Allstate Insurance. Your car insurance is going to be Allstate. If you're dealing with an independent agent, they represent all the companies. They could give you the best insurance that you need for that specific situation. And I think it's very, very important to have an independent insurance agent, whether it's health insurance, whether it's car insurance, whatever. An independent agent works for you and doesn't work for the company. And that's really, really important, especially when you're looking to save money, because a good insurance agent is very valuable and will find the best insurance based on your needs at the right cost. All right, time for a break. 732-237-9626 is our call number. My name's Lou Scatigna, and you're listening to The Financial Physician. Don't go away. Are you currently...